I am here with Bassam today. If you watch some of the other vlogs, you've seen me talk about Burger Glory, having the burgers, some of the best burgers I've had. I'm not just saying that because we're together. But what I think was dope is that, like, I had already been coming here getting the burgers, but then you watch the vlogs and you're like, yo, bro, if I can help you with achieving your dreams by a burger or whatever, like, so first I appreciate that. And then second, I wanted to show, I was like, in exchange, like, if I can help you achieve your dream, that's even better. And so then we're thinking, why don't we show the conversations that we're having here in case it helps anybody else watching? So instead of me just saying it, say a little bit about like what the dream is that you have now. That way people, it's like you saying it in your words. Yeah, the one that we're working on.
Sorry for my English. My dream is that Burger Glory, this small restaurant, that's true, becomes a very big franchise here in Morocco.
So it's not like, this is, that way people can see, it's not like a huge restaurant that we're at, but the dream is to have it be bigger and to have in a franchise.
I doubt every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I tell myself just the best thing I can do for me, for my family, is to close this and try to get a job. This is going like that for the 2 or 3 last years.
You're thinking that.
I'm thinking about, not every day about closing, but every time you face something hard, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy at all. At least you think about it twice a week. Nothing is sure when you're an entrepreneur.
Right.
And nothing is sure when you're an entrepreneur in a third world
Yeah.
country.
What would you say are like maybe some things that you're trying to some fears or doubts that right now that you're like trying to overcome?
What if I don't have the money to go further?
What do you mean by further?
Actually, you get a bigger restaurant, second restaurant, which is really bigger than this one. And then start to think about franchising the burger.
I think the thing that we were talking about last time is like, what I always try to do is think of like, I think people get caught up in the how. So they have this dream. I want to open up a franchise. And then they get overwhelmed. They're like, how's that going to happen? What if I don't have the money? What I try to do is think of like, what can I do to make sure that can happen? And I think a lot of people aren't even, it's like you're worried about it, and the worry is stopping you from even doing the things you could do. So last time we were talking about, okay, investors, focusing on investors could be a thing. And then maybe it needs to be investors that are outside of this country. So then it's like, okay, that's the idea, but what could you be doing to get them? Which then it's like you're coming up with a list. Maybe that's watching TV shows, finding the email addresses, finding the Instagram accounts, finding the LinkedIn accounts, getting plane tickets, going there, like whatever you could do.
I used to work at a startup called Livrement. And when I see this example, they started very, very small, and now Livrement it was a business based on internet, e-commerce. They were importing books from France and selling them here in Morocco, and they were just delivery. They had no physical library. After I think 4 or 5 years, they opened their first bookstore. And now they have 2 bookstores, one here in Casablanca, one in Rabat.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's one of the major book business actors here in Morocco. And what I tell myself is, if they could do it, I can do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen this. I've been part of
You're working
the
with them.
nebula of the start of this
Yeah.
business, and I've seen that it wasn't easy. It's never easy.
Yeah, it's not like 4 or 5 months or weeks,
No,
it's years.
It's years.
Yeah.
It take years.
So that's like one of the, it sounds like that's one of the focuses. It's like, instead of what most people would do, how am I going to get this money? I'm in Morocco, it's not possible. Probably just give up. It's like, how do I get people to invest in what I'm doing? Right?
No. The problem is it's hard to I don't know how to explain.
Oh,
Can I speak in
French.
French? No, but it's not easy to
Find them?
to find them. It's not easy.
So then my question always is like, how much, if it's me, it's like, okay, it's hard to do, but how much time and energy am I putting on it? Because some people, like, it's hard to find investors, but it's like they're spending 5 minutes of the month doing it versus like if you're spending an hour
Yeah,
every
but
day
when,
doing it.
when you work in your business,
Yeah,
you
of
have
course.
to do things manually in your business. You have to manage the business.
Yeah,
etc. You don't really have the time to do it. And when you have time, you think about getting the rest.
Yeah. So I think to me the options would be, how do I free up my time so I can spend more time doing this thing I need to do to make money, or how can I get someone else to do that thing for me? But the third option is, how do I get them to come to me?
Yeah,
So for example, this video, who knows who sees it?
come to me.
Yeah, maybe someone sees it and they're like, oh, I want to do that. Obviously, I'm not going to be here every single day, like showing you, but let's say, for example, if you had your own blog or Instagram or wherever and you're posting and it's getting views, like some of those people are going to see. And I think the key, like just with me, how I was like vulnerable with where I'm at in the journey, you're able to be like, hey, I like what you're doing, I'll invest in you with this.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't want to be vulnerable. They want to make it seem like, oh, I know I'm growing this business, I have all the money, and so no one thinks that they need help. But if you're like, hey, I have this vision, this is what I want it to be, my obstacle right now is getting the funds, I think someone in the world, and all you need is probably one good person to be like, hey, I saw what you're doing, I want to help you with that. And it's like every day you wake up, I think if it's me, every day I wake up, it's like, okay, today's going to be the day that I make that connection. And then probably won't happen. It's like, okay, tomorrow is going to be that day. And then tomorrow will be that day, and tomorrow will be that day. And even if it's like you're not getting, you probably have the expectation that you're not going to get the money today or tomorrow, but you might make the connection. And I think that's what's important. It's like focusing on what we can control. Like, I might not be able to control the government and how much all these other things, but I can control spending an hour on Instagram looking for investors every day. I can control teaching them how to make the buns or whatever it is. That frees up 30 minutes. Maybe all I have is 30 minutes. I can control when I'm on the bathroom, and when I'm going to the bathroom, I sit down and I get on my phone for that 10 minutes that I have. And if I'm doing that 3 times a day, it's 15 minutes. 15 minutes more than what I was doing before. And if I'm doing that every day,
It's just 15 minutes.
yeah, that's 2 hours during the week, 2 hours and 15 minutes, whatever, do the math. So that's why I think people underestimate. They're just like, oh, I can't do it. And it's like, yeah, if you give up, you definitely can. But most of these people around here are already thinking that it's not possible, so they're not doing it. They're not going on Instagram. They're not going on vlogs. They're not doing this stuff.
When I opened Burger Glory here, everybody was waiting for me to close in the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Everybody was telling me it's not going to.
They were telling you that.
Yeah, people told me that. People having other restaurants, and the guy selling clothes right there.
Yeah.
He told me this is not a business that is going to work here. I know it doesn't work. I'm not in the right place actually.
Okay, yeah,
It's
the
not
right
the right
location.
place to sell burgers, but I'm still making it.
Yeah.
You see, if I make it here, it means that if I have a bigger restaurant in a better place, I know it's going to work.
the way I think about it sometimes too, and this is like, it's not always the most satisfying way to think about it, but I think sometimes we have to be willing to accept the possibility that maybe you open this restaurant here because I was going to be in this area and that we meet, and then we do this video and it helps someone else achieve what they're trying to do, but it's not necessarily about us, me getting to Paris or you getting a franchise. It's more about, hey, this other person needed to see the video. And I think we get so consumed on like everything has to happen for me, and sometimes it's like it's about someone else. Like maybe I came here not to learn French but to meet you, so that way you could have the French. You know what I mean? There's so many possibilities.
Here in Morocco we see terms like destiny.
Yeah.
We all here to be a part of a bigger story, bigger destiny. Not about us, about the world.
Yeah.
Or perhaps we do it for us.
You never know. That's why I think it's like it's just like not judging it too early and just doing what you're focusing on, what you can control. You know, I think that's the first. That's what I try to do. It's like you have the dream, and it's like what can I control, and then once you know, that's the next thing. So it's like some people will get to the point where like, okay, I know I need to reach out to investors, but if you talk to them a month from now, they'll be like, oh, I've been too busy, I never did it. It's like, well, yeah, you're never gonna get there. Like you actually have to put in the work. And when you're putting in the work, you have to have faith that, okay, eventually someone's gonna come to me, and it might be 4 years later. you know, we don't know. But I like it, man, and I appreciate what you're doing here, the energy, what you've done for me. So it'd be dope to have like as I come and as we show these, if that helps. I think that would be cool. And a year from now or 2 years or whatever, we look back and we're like, bro, remember this video when we're sitting in here and you had the little place? Now you have a bigger space.
When I come to visit you in Paris.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Man, today has been a great day. Finishing it off with this crepe. And I have, instead of Nutella, I have them put bishkof. I think it's called bishkof or lotus. Oh, so good. But one thing that's been really cool is people DMing me on Instagram and telling me different things that they've seen in the vlog. Like, bro, this is dope. I always watch your vlogs. And I'm not saying that just to brag. Like, oh, hey, like, obviously if you're watching this, you're watching the vlog too. So it's you. But like, there's so many people that are watching these vlogs that I never knew until they tell me. And the reason why I'm saying that to you is because you're doing things that certain people are seeing. And it's easy to want to give up because you feel like no one notices you. But I promise you, there's somebody out there that notices what you're doing. And maybe they were going to support you. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe next week. Maybe not next week, maybe next month. Maybe not next month, but in 3 months. Maybe not in 3 months, but in a year. But if you give up, they're not going to be able to do that. And there's many people in this world. Some people have their own reasons. Some people don't have money. Some people are waiting to see more testimonials. Some people are waiting to see like your personality. Like they're waiting to see. And you just have to keep believing that every day. Those people are out there that are going to vibe with you. And it doesn't have to be everybody. Right now, these vlogs are getting 50, 100 views in the first week. Maybe around first day. Once these get up to thousands of views, tens of thousands of views, like that is going to solve a lot of my problems, a lot of my issues, right? Like I would love it if you're watching this to join Undeterred. But if that's not for you, that's cool. Keep watching the vlogs. Or hey, if the membership isn't for you, go buy a hoodie, go buy a shirt, wear it as a reminder to be undeterred as you chase your own dreams. But if I stay consistent with this, let's say over it, let's even say until April, and let's say I don't even achieve my dream by then, that is December, January, February, March, 4 months. And each of those I'm putting out like, let's say 20 videos, right? So 20 times 4, 80 more videos. And I'm on episode 30. So that's like, I'd be at over episode 100. If I'm like, most people don't put out 100 YouTube videos ever. Most people don't put out 100 YouTube videos in a year. Putting out 100 YouTube videos within like a 4 or 5 month span, like good things are going to happen. Oh, so good. If you've never had a crepe with lotus cream spread instead of Nutella, you're missing out. Oh my, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, so good. Dang.